In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything, trust nothing. Debate Crypto. What's going on? Miguel, how you doing tonight, bro?
Good, man. You?
Good. Crypto fam, we are doing a little impromptu live. Looks like we got Mike up in the house. Mike, this might be your own private stream tonight, bro. So just want to do a little shout out to Mike in the DCA dojo in the house. Yeah, so smash the like, guys. Do the normal things that YouTube wants to see, and let's have a little bit of fun tonight. We're going to blaze through a few different articles, and then we're going to dive deeper into a couple of them. Some of them will be quick, some of them will be slow. We're going to have a little bit of political stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight, guys, but the reality is political stuff bleeds into crypto, and that's just what it is. So Miguel, what's on the speaking of that, what's on the podium tonight?
Yeah, now more than ever, right? Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going political. We're seeing Russia, we're seeing China, we're seeing the United States getting involved in political acts. We're seeing Canada, right? The whole trucker movement. We're seeing that happen, and Bitcoin falling into that aspect. So crypto is getting political, whether people want it to or not. So it's just a matter of fact. We're gonna have to deal with it. There's a lot of different articles. I'm not gonna go through every single one right now. So I think we should just get right into the market overwatch and then
let's dive into it. Show me the market overwatch, and then I'll do a little bit of TA real quick. Then we'll dive right into the articles. Excuse me.
All right, so we are. Let me refresh. Make sure that this is nice and fresh. Yeah, nice and fresh. Down almost 10% in the entire crypto market.
That is
right
not
now.
correct.
Is market cap. I just refreshed.
Well, I mean, I can tell you the freaking whole market is up.
Dude, you're watching me hit refresh.
I get it, but I'm just letting you know it's wrong because the whole market is up. I'm just telling you it is. The whole market's up. The whole market is up. So I don't know what's going on with your market cap.
Tab just for you. Exactly the same.
Okay.
So unless you want to share your screen and see where the market's at, because mine is not.
I am telling you the whole market is up, my friend. Bada bing, bada boom. And mine says that the whole market is up 4.31%, up to 1.99 trillion. Here, I'll share it. I don't know why your coin market cap's off, bro. That's weird. All right, let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. All right, so real quick, whole market up 4.31%. Bitcoin's at 44.2, ETH at 31.28, Tether holding strong at $1, BNB at $430, up about 6.5%. XRP. Hey, Miguel, have you heard a little? There's some word out on the street that there's something going on with XRP in Crypto.com, and that they are possibly allowing. Now, listen, this is total speculation. I heard this from somebody in our group. Something's going on with XRP, so I don't know what that is. But
if it's not news about it going to zero, I'm not really interested. So
Cardano's up about 5.5%, Solana up 7%, Terra up 4.5%, and Avalanche on a tear again, 12.9%. Let's take a quick little look-see over at a little bit of Market Cipher, and then we'll get into the articles. What do we got here? Let me find it. Oh, there we go. All right. So I drew this earlier, and check this out, Miguel. Now check out what I did. I want to make this clear to everybody. I did this earlier. Okay, check this out. 2:53 p.m. Eastern. CryptoKeeper. Symmetrical triangle, continuation pattern, breaks bullish because it entered bullish on the 1 hour chart. Just like to point that out. Okay,
guys, he typed that like 5 minutes before coming on the stream.
Yeah, right. So as we look at this, what's happening? Okay, now, albeit it's 2:50. What time is it right now? Like 6:30, something like that.
6:33.
So there's been one, two. Look at this. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4 candles since I drew this. So I drew this right to right here. We stopped right here. So I've got so far. I mean, bro, on the money. You know what? I think I might just go pro. I'm gonna go pro with.
I don't know, dude. That triangle looks wonky, bro. That last green candle is breaking out, but it's at the bottom side of the triangle. It looks wonky to me.
Let's see here. Okay, so as we zoom in a little bit, I'm a little bit off. I thought we were going to break out of the triangle. You're right, towards the upside. We actually broke to the downside, and then we're making a move upward. At any event, it was fun while it lasted. It looked good on the 4-hour chart. But yeah, on the 4-hour chart, since we were looking at that, we're bullish on the MACD. We're a little bit overbought. We're at about 76 on the RSI. Money flow actually positive, but decently flat. Yeah, I mean, overall, we look like we're moving in the right direction. Miguel, how are you feeling about the market overall, dude? I know you thought it was down
Dude, right now,
10%
I
with,
think
I'm not bullish on coin market caps analysis of the market.
yeah, I don't know. Though. I'm pretty stagnant about the market right now. I don't think there's a lot of different things happening. You know, a lot of talk left and right with crypto politics and this and that. But I don't really see anything happening in the market. So unless some big catalyst event occurs, you know, and I think those are the kind of moments where it's like out of nowhere, where we just wake up one day and it's just boom, we're off to the races. Bitcoin is exploding and the altcoins are following in the price. I don't think anything right now is going to lead any of this bullish news, because we're getting tons of bullish news and the market really isn't responding as bullish as it should be. There was a lot more price movement just a few months ago, and there wasn't really any bullish news coming out back in December, or I should say in November kind of time, October. Yeah, we
Right.
were pumping. So
Yeah, I don't know. I've talked about it a lot lately. I just feel kind of stagnant. Not stagnant. I shouldn't say stagnant. That's what you said. Basically, that I just am not super confident. So let's dive into the articles. Let's see what we got going on
yeah,
here.
let's
Let's
get to
kick
it.
it
We
off
got a
with
lot to cover.
some fun little NFT article here to kick it off. We've got some counterfeit NFT resulting in some marketplace suspension. Experts weigh in. The NFT platform, famous for minting Jack Dorsey's first tweet, has halted NFT operations amid counterfeiting and illicit activities calls. Rampant issues relating to minting counterfeit non-fungible tokens have forced popular platform Cent to halt some operations. Founded in 2017, Cent kicked off as a social network and informal platform for creative experimentation. In 2020, the team also launched an NFT platform called Valuables to mint and auction iconic tweets. Jack Dorsey's first tweet, "Just setting up my Twitter," sold for $2.9 million on the
Dude, that's
platform.
wild, bro.
That's the most.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've like. People just like to throw money away.
Oh, hold on. Can you imagine, right? You've got 2.9 million. All right. Think about like what a $500,000 home looks like, right? So now I'm going to go out and I'm going to purchase 6 of those, right? But instead of, you know what? I could purchase, 6 families, a beautiful 3,000 square foot home. Instead, I think I'll purchase a tweet that says setting up my Twitter.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount of money being spent on that NFT in of itself, right? Not saying that all NFTs are a waste of money, but there a lot of them are. There's only very few that actually, if you're not in it for the flip, or if you're
Yeah.
not in something that has utility in a community, maybe a decentralized DAO, yeah, I mean, none of those things are going for $2.9 million unless it's like a crypto punk or a
Right.
Bored Ape Yacht Club.
No, for sure. And I actually don't exactly know. Maybe you can tell me further, Miguel, what exactly happened here.
So what's happening here? They're basically, they created this platform and they're being shut down because it was an unauthorized NFT copies and all this stuff were being
Okay.
stolen, yada yada.
Okay.
But what I want to get through with the people here in this article is there's a lot of people coming up with NFT marketplaces now. Logan Paul has announced that he's coming out with an NFT marketplace, right? Just saw recently on Twitter, uh, not fully confirmed yet. Saw some pictures or whatever. Something in the stock market, and yeah, somewhere in the stock market in Wall Street, they're also putting in a patent for an NFT marketplace. So, not saying that that's not going to be legitimate, but all these NFTs and different marketplaces are going to start coming up because there's a lot of projects now. They all want to have their own NFT marketplace, right? And it's part of the roadmap, the utility, the brand, and
Right.
just trying to make a warning for everybody. Please do your own research. Please look deeply into these projects. Don't just take the roadmap or the white paper as its law, as it's legitimate. You have to be very careful. Any NFT project can come and can go, and these platforms right, can just scam you out of your money. So be very, very careful with the platforms you're involved with.
What did you think of this? So Juggernaut wants to know if we got the Twitter message about being able to use your NFT as a profile pic, which, yes, I know exactly what he's talking about. Coming soon, you need to link your wallet. What do you think? Good or a bad thing? You know what? I think that I think it's a good thing from the standpoint that it's making even more mainstream what's happening in the crypto NFT space. I think that's a good thing. I think the thing I don't love about it is it's a flex. I mean, that's all it is, right? Well,
But that's all a social media game is, right?
I
That's a natural evolution
that's
of
a good
social
point.
media.
That's a good
I
point.
mean,
Okay,
everybody on here
fair
wants to
enough.
take pictures, in their Lambo, in their Ferrari, whether it's rented or not, right? On the yacht with like, a bunch of ladies in bikinis, right? Popping a
Are you
bottle of
talking about Are you talking about our upcoming conference already? You're not supposed to spill the tea already, bro.
all these people just want to flex, right? Whether it's their real life or it's their fake life that they're pretending it's real, right?
Yeah,
All social media is a flex game. So using your NFTs to flex on people on Twitter is just a natural evolution of social media.
yeah. I could get on board with that. That
And
actually
I
does.
like the fact that at least they're confirming that you actually own the NFT by connecting
I
your
do like
wallet,
that.
right? So it's not like just I can just screenshot anybody's NFT and just put it up as my profile pic, right?
Yeah.
There's not that same kind of legitimate situation.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like that. So check this out. Gemini client IRA financial. Oh my gosh, let's start that over. Gemini client IRA financial hacked for $36 million in Bitcoin and Ethereum. IRA Financial Trust says it's trying to recover funds stolen from Gemini linked Bitcoin and crypto retirement accounts. Okay. Hackers stole $21 million in Bitcoin and $15 million in Ethereum from retirement accounts held with IRA Financial Trust on February 8th, according to a report from Bloomberg based on an anonymous source. The fintech startup, which manages individual retirement accounts in non-traditional assets, has been dealing with allegations of a major hack for nearly a week. Late Friday, it tweeted that it had discovered suspicious activity that has affected a limited subset of our customers with accounts on the Gemini cryptocurrency exchange. The same notice now appears on its website, but according to an email purportedly sent to affected users and shared via screenshot with Decrypt, this is more than suspicious activity. It states, and I quote, "Our investigation is ongoing, but preliminary assessment indicates an attempted theft of cryptocurrency funds within the impacted accounts occurred. We are proactively utilizing all available resources to recover funds."
Yeah, man,
How you feel
that's
about
sad
this? How
to
you feel about this one?
yeah, that's sad to hear, right? I mean, not your keys, not your crypto. We talk about this all the time. It's one of the oldest sayings in crypto, and people it is seriously a thing, right? All these places, these massive centralized places, are targets for hackers, for exploiters to take out and siphon cash or crypto from it, right? It's just an easy target
Are these
versus when it's
companies getting in?
decentralized.
Are these companies getting in to diving into this too fast when they're not prepared? Because if I listen, I get that these hackers, I don't understand what they're doing, but we see it happening enough, right? Are they jumping? Are they putting the cart before the horse? They're not fully prepared with their OPSEC because at the end of the day,
Uh,
these hackers are exploiting what I believe should be some of the most secure. I just don't. I just
it's
don't get it.
difficult. It's difficult. I mean, when you go into security, even if they have the most secure network, right? First of all, security is like super expensive to pay for. Just the classes are super expensive to pay for, and then at the same time, they can just hack you by a social engineer attack. And what does that mean? That means right, the attacker, you, the employee of the company, just a regular employee, right? I send you a link on an email, a phishing email, right? And you click on it, and that link automatically grants me access to the
Right.
network. I'm already in, right? I can also send you a link on LinkedIn, right? On Facebook. I know that you work for this company, and I'm trying to get into your personal
But
information.
why is that not happening with banks right now?
Oh, it happens. It happens all the time. We just don't hear all the time these things happening, right? There's more security in some places than other. But what's easier to attack? A centralized bank, right? Or a small company with an IRA for crypto, right?
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Are they opening themselves? Are they not fully
It's
prepared
not that
for
they're
what
not
they're
fully
doing?
prepared. They're just an easier target because they might not have the capital or the power in the structure to come after these hackers the same way if they hack JP Morgan's bank, right? It's just not the same
Yeah.
level of attention.
No, that makes sense. We see it enough that I would just always wonder: is it FUD, and they're just trying to scare people out of holding crypto assets, or is this really as big of a problem? I'll tell you, one of the things I want to throw out there is what the world. I have no. That was really weird. It went
Yeah.
but my light didn't go off or anything. At any event, my little brother is in the chat. Tales from the CryptoKeeper. That's actually no, I don't have a brother, but welcome there. Tales from the CryptoKeeper. I like it. I like it. Great name.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I wanted to finally say for the IRA thing, I like the IRA. It gives a benefit of whether if you have an IRA for crypto, you can trade crypto inside your IRA, and you don't have to deal with taxes. So there
It's
is a
beautiful.
benefit to having the IRA, but not having keys to your crypto, then you're set up for things like this. But I'm sure that they're probably insured, right? They will give you your
Yeah.
money back. So that's the benefit. But I just like to always urge on the side of caution of making people aware that crypto is about being your own bank and being in control of your own situation, which is something we're going to be covering pretty soon in some later articles. So I always tend for being on that side of taking control of your own situation, your own money, over giving up your keys for convenience.
I think my dad recently actually just got into one of these crypto. Actually, I know he did. He reached out to me, told me that he was doing that, and I think it's fantastic. I think the reality is you've got assets that are appreciating at a lightning rate compared to traditional equities. And I think a lot of people are really going to benefit from it. And again, it's the tax benefit for me, right? That's the whole point behind it. Now it will be on the front end of it, right? So I have what's called a SEP IRA, which is a self-employed IRA. And one of the nice things about a SEP IRA is I can literally contribute as much as you can only make a certain amount of money and contribute a certain amount to like a Roth, for example. Okay. With a SEP IRA, because it's coming from the business, I can contribute as much as I want and I can have the business match it. Right. So as the owner can contribute my own money and the business then can match it. And I know you're thinking, well, it's the same money. Yeah, I get it. But it's the tax game. Right. And ultimately it's a pretty cool function. And I have looked at it and I've been really kicking around the idea of doing that in the crypto space. But my issue is you need to have a well diversified portfolio. I've got so much freaking crypto. Like that's kind of my little safe little, old man boomer thing that I got going on.
Yeah,
So.
I'm glad you said it and not me.
Yeah, well, I knew it was coming, so I figured I'd just take the words.
Sometimes
right
I just feel like it's elderly abuse by me repeating it over and over.
Let's take a look at what Russia's doing here. So the Russian ministry wants to legalize Bitcoin mining in specific areas. The proposal aims to recognize mining crypto as a commercial activity and introduce taxes on its realized profits. Let me say that again, and introduce taxes on its realized profits. What a surprise. While the Russian government...
That's a key point on realized profits. That means that they actually had to sell the crypto as well to be able to get taxed on that crypto mining. It's not like how they wanted to do it here at first. And now we just recently got the news that we're not going to, miners won't be hit with taxes until it's realized.
100%. 100%.
They're starting off that way.
Yeah, no. I totally agree with you. While the Russian government continues to work out a regulatory regime for digital assets, a federal ministry has made another proposal regarding the crypto mining industry. Russia's Ministry of Economic Development has greenlighted the concept of crypto mining regulation in the country, proposing to allow mining operations in areas with, quote, sustainable surplus in electricity generation. Local news agency, not even going to try, reported on Tuesday. As part of the proposal, the ministry suggested introducing lower fees for setting up mining farms and data centers in specific Russian regions, as well as offered reduced energy rates for such facilities. Miguel, when I see these articles, I see, I see a government with
competition, baby.
Well, I see that too, but I see a government with dollar signs in its eyes, right? It sees opportunity with Satoshis, right?
Bitcoins.
Yeah. It's got Satoshis in its eyes, and it's a laser eyes on the government because the government is saying, wait a minute, we have a huge opportunity here that we can't squander, and people are going to take advantage of it. So we either get on board, or the train's moving without us, right? And so I think these governments are starting to realize we can't stop we can't stop this this force. This is one of those unstoppable forces versus an immovable object, right? Except for, guess what? The government's not an immovable object. We're finding that out. We're going to talk about it here in a little bit. Just park some trucks in a very opportune spot, and you'll start to figure some of that out. But yeah, no, I think that people are going to start to come. These governments are going to have to start coming around, and the fact is, it's profitable and it's taxable. So.
Exactly right. That's the two main things, and that's how governments love making money. You do all the work, you take all the risk, but we're gonna slap you with that tax at the end of the year, baby. So get to it, right? It's that sweatshop work that they got. So, and it's incentivizing. It's incentivizing. Countries are making it incentive to get miners to come to their country, because if it's going to happen, it's better to happen in our country than in your country, right? That's what every country is thinking. So, and they want to make as much money off of it as possible, not just the Bitcoin, but the jobs that it creates for their country, right? For their citizens. Mm-hmm. It works overall. The energy, what's the word? The energy incentive to get cleaner energy into the country, to get things more renewable. It's all around very, very bullish. We even have some news about a huge oil company getting into crypto mining. I don't know if I sent you that article or not.
I don't think I have that one.
But I'll send it to you now. We can keep going for the rest.
Okay. Yeah, real quick, crypto fan, make sure that you guys smash the likes. That's the one thing you can do to tell YouTube you like what's going on. And if you hate the stream, just go ahead and smash the dislike twice to let them know that you really dislike the stream. If anybody doesn't understand the joke, well, if you know, you know. But yeah, we just appreciate all the support, guys. Thank you very much for being here. I know this is kind of an impromptu stream, but let's continue. Next up, we've got some more Russia news. So latest from Putin and Xi suggests growing political interest in Bitcoin. Statements from Russia and China suggest that there are two unified and prepared to evade economic sanctions with Bitcoin being a potential tool. On February 4th, news emerged that Russian President Vladimir Putin had issued a letter to the people of China, published by a local news agency, that detailed ongoing trade between the two countries and mutually beneficial infrastructure projects. I talked about this the other night, Miguel. Chinese President Xi Jinping, I think is how you say his name, and Russian President Vladimir Putin also met in Beijing ahead of the opening of the 2022 Winter Olympics, hosted in Beijing, and dropped some heavy conversation onto the wires. Stemming from that meeting, the leaders issued a joint statement that confirmed Russia's backing of China in its disputes with Taiwan, expressed concerns over defense alliance led by Australia, the UK, and the US, and criticized the expansion of NATO, amongst other things. Let me ask you this, Miguel. How could they? So we kind of touched on this the other night. You want me to keep going?
Yeah. I mean, there's a part about the SWIFT system. I don't know if you already covered that, or it's a little bit lower down.
No, I didn't. But among all the geopolitical lines being drawn in the sand by these two leaders, one issue in particular could signal forthcoming attitudes around Bitcoin. Russia and China have been in the crosshairs of many tense political topics and have both been targets for threats of economic sanctions recently, making it unsurprising that the two neighbors are seeking alliances in trade and scientific development. We are consistently expanding settlements in national currencies and creating mechanisms to offset the negative impact of unilateral sanctions. This is literally what I was talking about. Putin wrote in his letter to the Chinese people, a major milestone in this work was the signing of an agreement between the government of Russia and the government of China on payments and settlements in 2019. This is coming on the heels of threats to cut Russia off from the SWIFT system that were made just days prior. Russia is particularly well positioned to evade sanctions, considering the treasure trove of Forex reserves it holds, valued at north of $600 billion only 5 minutes ago. Do these actions implicate interest in a strategy of a broader Bitcoin adoption by one or both superpowers? It doesn't seem like that far off of a reality. There it is, Miguel, right there. They're saying, and I want to hear your take on this. They're saying, hey, we have an alternative here. Listen, we're playing chess, you're playing checkers. Before you make your next move, just know that I've got a move, right? That's how I see it. I see it as them telling the US, okay, do your thing, but I've got backup.
Exactly right. And it's showing the rest of the world that hey, we don't have to live under the threat of the United States sanctions, right? Whether for whatever reason, and another avenue, right? And El Salvador kind of opened up the gates to that other avenue that it is possible for a country to make Bitcoin legal tender. You can build infrastructure, and if a small country like El Salvador can do it in what, a year or less, big nations like China and Russia can definitely ramp up the party real quick.
That's a fact. I absolutely think that this could happen faster than we have any idea. And I think we've seen a pump today. And I don't know. I can't help but look around at some of the tensions happening. And I said earlier, and I got a lot of flack for it on you or on TikTok, but I basically said, and we're going to get into it in a minute, but I basically was talking about Canada, and I said how Bitcoin can fix this, and we'll dive into that in a minute. But I see all of these geopolitical things happening around us that Bitcoin could play a part in, that cryptocurrency could, and as I see it, obviously should play a part in. And I think it really could happen like that. It's just going to take the right set of circumstances and the
Yep.
decisions as a result of. So
Yeah,
I think it
everybody
might
in the
be.
chat, drop a one in the chat if you really think that Bitcoin can fix a lot of the problems that we're seeing geopolitically and within our own countries, right? Just within our own countries, fix government problems. Drop a one if you think Bitcoin is not the answer to these geopolitical problems or the monetary problem that's happening within our country or whatever country you're from. Drop a two in the chat, guys. We want to see what you guys think about that.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, guys, super chats are on. If you have something that you just want to make sure that we see, or just supporting the channel, we appreciate it. I do want to touch this real quick. Willis said, "Do you guys have a favorite hardware wallet?" I know this is a one-off, but I want to answer it. I really love my Ledger. Miguel loves his Ledger. I'll speak
Yep.
for him on that. I have Trezors and Ledger. And the Trezor, for me, my fingers are like too big and fat apparently to like really utilize the screen the way it needs to be used. And so I really like the Ledger. If you are looking to get a Ledger, by the way, too, we've got a link down below the video. It'll help you out and help us out. So if that's what you're looking for, just to let you know that is there. Miguel, let me touch this one that you were bringing up about the Conoco Phillips here. There we go.
Bring it. Bring the heat.
Conoco Phillips is selling extra gas to Bitcoin miners. With its Bitcoin pilot, Conoco Phillips is both monetizing energy that would otherwise be wasted and reducing its emissions. Conoco Phillips has one Bitcoin pilot project operating in North Dakota. The company is selling stranded gas to Bitcoin miners in the Bakken, an oil abundant region in the US. The setup allows the company to monetize gas that would otherwise be wasted while it reduces carbon emissions and enables a Bitcoin miner to access cheap energy. Oil and gas giant ConocoPhillips has indirectly entered the Bitcoin mining business. The company has spun up a pilot Bitcoin project back in North Dakota, through which it sells natural gas that would otherwise be burned for disposal, flared, to a Bitcoin mining property, a mining farm rather, operated by a third party. CNBC reported. Miguel, have you ever seen these? Have you ever? Okay, if you drive through, I don't know if you've ever seen these, but if you drive through, they're in the Midwest. They've got them down south. They've got them all through Texas. When you drive by anywhere that has any sort of oil, any sort of a refinery, or whether they're drilling, whatever they're doing, you'll see just a random like thing sticking out of the ground, and it's burning like crazy, bro. Like it's literally like really putting off a freaking flame. And they call that, I think they call that flaring. I think, and essentially it is the excess natural gas that has to be, it has to release that pressure. They've got to get rid of it somehow. And so they essentially burn it off. Dude, this is freaking genius. This is part of the reason why Bitcoin can work and can be beautiful. And the energy stuff is freaking FUD.
Yeah, and not just that, but dude, I completely agree with everything you said. I've never seen one. Right, I live in the middle of a city. I see nothing but buildings and old
Yeah,
people here.
right.
But
And Cubans.
yeah, yeah. Don't get me started. And then, so the whole thing is they're right now selling the excess gas to a mining company, right? And they're seeing how productive that is, how profitable that is. Wait till they realize, wait a minute, what if we don't have to sell the gas? We already have the gas. What if we
Yep.
just set up our own mining operation, right? We can even use the money that we're that we're getting from selling this excess gas currently, accumulate enough money to make an investment, buy our own mining corporate, make our own mining subdivision, right? Start buying ASIC miners and start going in deep into mining, and then we're fueling it with our own excess gas. We're cutting the middleman out of the play, and we're making money on both sides, right? We're saving gas at the same time we're saving costs for energy, and boom, we're producing Bitcoin. I'm telling you, it's multi-million-dollar ideas like this that is going to make America great again.
It's simple. But it's such a simple idea, Miguel. It's just like the idea of, the volcanoes, right? Not simple in actually like making it happen, but simple in the idea that, wait a minute, there is a ton of potential energy there. We have learned through the years via science about energy. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to get energy and put it into and process use these ASIC miners to then be able to create hash, to create Bitcoin. And I think it's genius, dude. I like it. I like it a lot.
Dude,
I think
it's
that
awesome.
instead of wasting whatever it is that would have just been wasted, and we do waste a lot, right? That's with any company, right? There's things, with my construction company, there's scraps on job sites that otherwise, basically get tossed. But people get creative and they have all these different ideas. There's a lady that lives near us that every year she comes and she picks up she asks for any scraps that we have. And she does this around Christmas. And it's a really cool idea, dude. She actually brought some back to us. I had no idea what she was doing with them, but she came and started picking up all this scrap wood. And they were just small pieces, like some of them, 2 feet, some of them 1 foot, some of them whatever. And dude, she would take the wood, she would cut them into different sizes. She would paint them different Christmas colors and wrap them in Christmas bows. And they were literally you would set them up outside your house. And we use ours now. You set them up outside your house as a Christmas decoration. It's literally, from afar, it looks like little Christmas presents on your front porch or whatever. Dude.
That's really creative.
Yeah, it's really super creative. And I think that this is a creative way for some of these companies to just get wild and make money.
Exactly.
That's a huge, benefit. So
let's get into the next one. So we're getting into the good stuff now.
Now it's time to get in, guys. Parental warning.
Well, let's not hit the Canada one just yet.
Well, no. I'm easing into the fact that if you don't want to hear any political chatter, you might want to exit stage left because it's coming right now. Let's start off with Congressman Warren Davidson introduces bill to protect self-hosting of cryptocurrencies. Let me zoom in on this.
Yeah, hit that zoom. There you
go. Congressman Warren Davidson, OH, that's Ohio, folks. That's where your boy's at, has introduced new legislation to protect self-hosted crypto wallets from government agencies. This is who you were talking about, by the way, Miguel, when you couldn't remember the name. Yeah. Oh my gosh, get out of here. The bill, dude, it's so annoying. The bill, which was introduced on February 15th, which is today, aims to prohibit federal agencies from restricting the use of convertible virtual currency by a person to purchase goods or services for the person's own use for other purposes. Specifically, the bill bars agency heads from restricting the ability to, quote, use virtual currency or its equivalent for such users' own purposes, such as to purchase real or virtual goods and services for the user's own use or conduct transactions through a self-hosted wallet. Self-custody was under fire at the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021 as the Treasury Department under then Secretary Steven Mnuchin sought to impose limits on crypto exchanges transacting with unknown parties in the final weeks of the Trump administration. The controversial wallet monitoring rule ultimately went dormant under Janet Yellen's Treasury. Ultimately, guys,
super important actually.
Hit me with
because there they stated, right, they were already coming after personal finances, personal wallets, right, already by the end of the Trump era or situation, and then now we're finally getting some clear legislation that if it passes, we are protected and we have the right to have our own custody of our crypto, right? Because when the Fed coin, when the CBDCs come out, when the programmable money comes out, 100% that this is a threat They don't want you being your own bank. They want to have control of your money, because the minute you step out of line, whether you're a danger to public health, or you're a danger to whatever, or you are an extremist of this or an extremist of that, first thing they do is seize and freeze your accounts and stop your money. So that's the first thing they're going to come after is your money. And if you're your own bank, they can't come after your money. So that is definitely a threat to the power structure of the federal and traditional system. And that is the biggest revolution that crypto has created. So it's very important that we make this clear and precise and motivate people to continue being their own bank and keeping control over their own keys.
Yeah, it actually, it's a great lead in. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's a great lead in to the next article that we're about to dig into a little bit here, right? So let's dive into it, guys. You guys have been hearing about all this stuff in Canada, right? Miguel was just talking about self-custodying crypto wallets. Okay, let me read a little piece of this, and then I'm going to talk about basically a little bit of conversation or two that I had earlier via TikTok. Okay. Canada authorizes emergency rules to cut off protesters' access to funds, including crypto. By the way, my face might start to turn red because my blood starts to boil as we sit here. So just letting you guys know. Canada Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked the 1988 Emergencies Act in an attempt to cut off protesters' access to funds, including crypto. Okay, there's the scumbag himself. The Canadian government today, for the first time, invoked the Emergencies Act in a bid to restrict the flow of funds to truck drivers protesting the country's COVID-19 restrictions. Under the act, the government can freeze bank accounts without going through the court system, as well as take a number of other actions to force an end to the demonstrations. We are broadening the scope of Canada's anti-money laundering and anti-terrorist, let me say that again, anti-terrorist financial rules so they can cover crowdfunding platforms and the payment providers they use. Now, let me read this last part because this is important. So they can cover crowdfunding platforms and the payment providers they use. Canada Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland said during a press conference today. Freeland, who also serves as finance minister, added these actions would also cover cryptocurrencies. Okay, let's stop right there real quick. Okay, we might come back to this. But
I love the irony of that person's last name, Freeland.
Freeland,
Not very free.
Not very free at all. Okay, so first, right off the rip, let me say this. I made a comment earlier today that on a video that Bitcoin solves this. And what I was talking about was the fact that they are freezing people's funds and taking over, right? They are actively, freezing accounts so that money cannot be transferred person to person, group to group. Basically, they don't want me being able to donate money to a cause that they're not happy with. So first thing, I don't care what it is. They're being peaceful. It's freaking wrong. Whether you agree with the mandates, whether you don't, we're not going to get into that. It's just what they're doing to fight against it. Okay. What I said was Bitcoin solves this, and I got a whole bunch of backlash. Bitcoin doesn't solve this. I read it, and it even said that cryptocurrencies are covered under that. Okay, fine. So tell me, and this is what I told people, tell me how they're going to cover hardware wallet to hardware wallet transaction besides shutting down the entire internet and power and the electrical grid. The reality is, if we do learn to self-custody, which is what Miguel was just talking about, one of the most important things in the crypto space, the moment that everyone could learn, or most everyone can learn to be their own bank, we take back a lot of power, because now all of a sudden we don't need that middleman. Let's check it out. So let's say Miguel was on the Freedom Convoy. Okay. If you guys can't tell, this freaking stuff gets me amped up. Let's say Miguel was on the Freedom Convoy and I'm not able to get up there to support my boy, which I would, but let's say he was. Okay. He's up there and I'm stuck here and I want to send money to him, right? Do you think that it would make sense to send it via Venmo, via Cash App, via, one of these crowdfunding, right? No. And for this reason, right? But back up. Let's say I thought of it ahead of time, like, yeah, they really don't like what's going on here, and I want to make sure that he gets this, right? What could I do? I literally could access my wallets, my hardware wallet, type in Miguel's hardware wallet information, right? His address, and bada bing, bada boom. 10 minutes later, if it was Bitcoin at the max, it will be there. Okay. There is no way for you to stop that. No way to stop it. But it's because we are both self-custodying our crypto. And the problem is people are not self-custodying. They are allowing others. That's why they say not your keys, not your crypto. And so they are able to then freeze those transactions because they don't, it's not that they have control of your Bitcoin. It's not that they have your keys. It's that they have control over the institution by which you are holding your cryptocurrency.
Exactly, dude. That's what they're gonna come after every single time. And,
Yep.
and I stated earlier, right? They're gonna come after your Cash App, right? They're gonna come after your Venmo, right? We understand that all these payment providers are now getting into the game of crypto and they're offering it, and you can send it within the platform, and some platforms even let you send it off the platform into self custody, right? But in these countries, when these regulations get hit, that's going to go away instantly. They're going to say, hey, Cash App, Venmo, you can't send crypto within our borders anymore. No more, right? Same thing they did with Binance. When Binance was everywhere, the US said, wait a minute, we're going to regulate you. Now we're going to create a subdivision, Binance.us, which is the only one we're going to allow under certain restrictions to play within our borders. The rest of the world can use Binance.com, but in the US, you can only use Binance.us for XYZ reason. So they're going to come after Venmo. They're going to come after Cash App and whatever Canadian form of payment providers. If you don't hold hardware wallets, if you don't hold hot wallets like MetaMask, and there's other apps out there that allow you to have self custody. If you depend on Coinbase, on Binance, on all these exchanges to hold your crypto and then be able to transfer it from here to there because it's an easy click, bam, bam, slam, right? Oh, here's my friend, the little social network. Here's my friend. I can send it if I just click his face and I say I want to send this much. Boom, I send it. I don't have to worry about the
Easy
address,
button.
right? I don't have to worry about this, or I don't have, and I can call the exchange if something happens, and they're gonna fix it for me. Yada yada yada. Do not be dependent on the system. That is what crypto was created for, and we are now falling back into the trap of convenience, right? Where they're dumbing it down for us. They're making it easy for us to use because it's too complicated. It's too hard. We're trying to protect you. They're not trying to protect you. They're trying to put their hands around your neck so that when they need us, they will, right?
Yeah.
So
That's a fact, dude. Check this out. You are right on. So the move comes after weeks of protests by a group of truck drivers dubbed the Freedom Convoy, which is taken to blocking roadways, flouting mask rules, and honking their horns to voice their displeasure with vaccination mandates. Oh my gosh, what a freaking shame. The group's GoFundMe account was shut down by the platform on February 4th after pressure from the Canadian government, at which point it turned to alternative funding methods, including Bitcoin. Okay,
centralized point, instantly
yes,
shut down.
yes.
Bam.
And that is the key thing to remember. It's that central point of failure, and that's what it will become. Will be a point of failure because anytime, listen, let's back up. The reason that we want this decentralized system, right? Part of the reason that Bitcoin has the value that it does is because it's for the people. This book right here, we talk about this book a lot, okay? It's called the Bitcoin Standard. Pause for screenshot. Okay. That book can absolutely change your perspective on not just Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but like money and the idea behind what money is, was, and should be. And I think that there's a disconnect somewhere. There's a disconnect somewhere that basically says that you should trade your anything essentially for money, like trade. I'm talking about like your freaking freedom, your time, and it should be just this exchange. And I think that somewhere along the way we've gotten so greedy in that we've jumped on board with that. And so what these institutions, what the Fed has done is said, wait a minute, we hold the ink to the printer of the thing that people are willing to die for, right? To die. I mean, literally, people damn near kill themselves working crazy amounts of hours, won't miss a day, can't afford to miss a paycheck, has got a family to take care of, like all of these things, and a lot of them make sense, right? So I think they have leaned back and said, wait a minute, we've got the keys to the kingdom here. And so the thing that Bitcoin does is it steps in and says, listen, the kingdom is 21 million strong. It won't be any larger than that. Okay. And we can break that up into 100 million times 21 million. There's 100 million Satoshis, sats in each Bitcoin, right? And so it's decentralized in nature. It has a cap. It has an intrinsic value via that supply and demand. Guys, it's digital freaking gold. And it ultimately, though it has flaws, just like every single currency has had flaws, I look at it as a digital store of value at this point, like a digital gold, more than just everyday transactions. I had my sponsor earlier today said, and I want to repeat this. He said, let me ask you a question. He said, Nick, my question is, when you talked about, he was talking about when I said something about Bitcoin solves this. He said, you can't possibly think that it solves this right now because of the massive amount of volatility. And my response was, well, you know what? It's not that it doesn't solve it right now. It's just that it has some major flaws right now because of that massive amount of volatility. But let me explain something. These stable coins are backed by the US dollar, which, if you want to talk about something that is like, they can lie to you all they want, is incredibly volatile right now, that asset is as well. And so all it takes is for the US, for Russia, for China, for the rest of the world to finally recognize Bitcoin and say, hey, recognize it as a legal tender, like all around, or as the reserve currency. Then all of a sudden, guess what it does? It absolutely blasts off and has just it would be, if it became the world reserve currency, I don't even know what that dollar figure would look like, but it would be insanity. Okay. But the thing would be is that value then would be able to be dispersed, and it would slow the volatility would slow, and it would act as a currency that might be moving, a percent here, a percent there, not, oh crap, Bitcoin dumped 30% this morning or whatever. I don't know. It has flaws just like every other form of currency, but it also solves problems.
And the problem with that's a great point, dude. And the thing with the dollar that you were talking about, right? It's not just that the dollar is also volatile. The dollar contains a lot more risks than Bitcoin does. And some people really do say this on Twitter, and it really does resonate with me. Not holding Bitcoin or not being involved in the crypto space, but let's just focus on Bitcoin for this example, is a bigger risk than actually holding the asset. Not having any is a bigger
Wow.
risk than not holding any at all.
We
And
need to
why?
tweet that.
Yeah, I mean, I see it on Twitter all the time, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, and it's true because holding dollars. Let's say you would hold dollars only. Not only is it also volatile, also goes up and down, right? There's 100 million different taxes on it, right? It is under the control and seizure of the United States government. Like we've said before,
Yep.
the minute that you are an inconvenient citizen in the country, your accounts are frozen. You are under lockdown. You are not allowed to use the money that you've worked for anymore, and it is gone.
That's
And
scary.
and good luck getting it back, right? Another thing, real estate. People say, well, that's why I keep all my money in real estate. That way they can't take it from me. Well, good luck with that as well. They might
Eminent
not be able
domain.
to. Let's say they can't take it for when you have it in some trust, in some entity, whatever, yada yada yada. You got it all mixed up, right? You got all the tax laws and all the whatever in your favor. Cool. But when the country you're in no longer suits your needs, and you say, "Wait a minute, I think I need to get out of here," right? You can't take that real estate with you.
That's a fact.
Bye bye, right? You can take your Bitcoin and your cryptocurrencies with you anywhere, whether you physically carry your ledger with you or you throw it out the window, right? And you rip up the keys and you say, I got it up here, I got it memorized, I got it, whatever, you can take that with you absolutely anywhere and no one can take it from you. Ever.
Yeah.
It can't be seized at a border. It can't be seized at an airport. It can't be seized anywhere. They cannot
Mhm.
take it from you.
it's a newer way to think that something other than a dollar can have this much value, but it's coming. And so, guys, the reality is these cryptocurrencies, just like anything, have value when people agree that they have value. And guess what? There's about $2 trillion worth of agreement right now, right? In the form of, that's what the global market cap is for crypto. That number can go 100x and beyond from there, right? Imagine if every asset that you held in your portfolio right now 100x, right? That non-alcoholic Mai Tai on a beach somewhere is calling my name, So at
$1
any
trillion means something. When something hits $1
trillion with a
trillion,
T. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
with a T, it means something. People don't get that, right? People, especially people in crypto, they just don't. They say,
because it's
well,
all
it's $1 trillion. It's how many times am I going to be able to X that? That's not profitable to me. I'm trying to get rich tomorrow, man. I don't want to go to work on Monday, right? And it's like, guys, Bitcoin has $1 trillion market cap in of itself. Not right now. Currently,
but
we've come
right,
back
right, right,
down,
right.
right? But we've been there and well above it, right? It's the only crypto asset that has achieved that. Every other crypto asset is nowhere near
Yeah,
$1 trillion or has ever even touched $1 trillion. So
yeah,
that right there shows you there's a whole nother level of security and what's the word? Not just security, but confidence in this asset that in the future it's going to be around. $1 trillion assets don't just disappear overnight. They don't just go away, into the darkness to never be heard of again.
yeah.
It is something to keep your eye on.
I want to say this in closing real quick. I love what Juggernaut said here. If you can burn it or rip it up, then it's worthless. Can you destroy gold? Yes, but good luck trying, right? Can you destroy crypto? Yes, but why send it to a burn wallet, right? So essentially what Kevin's saying is, oh, sorry, I just doxed you on on here. Essentially what Juggernaut is saying is that there is, if you can remember your private keys and you hold those, listen, let me do a real quick little educational session. Your crypto hardware wallet, I could throw it out in the street right now and it could get run over by a semi. Somebody else could swoop through and pick it up and take off with it. They don't have access to it. They need your keys, right? So if what it does is it serves as the front door key for the blockchain. Your crypto still gets stored on the blockchain. Remember that. Okay. So your hardware wallet, and I used to think originally that the hardware wallet was where my stuff was stored. And I was like, man, how does this work? How does that? And I had so many questions. When I realized that it's all stored on the blockchain and that's just the front door key, guys, just not save, but had your keys stored in a professional, private manner and have some backup what ifs just in case. And other than that, guys, you ultimately, as long as you know how to use it, that's ultimately self-custody at its finest, and it is what will ultimately possibly
And
probably change your life.
a lot of people have heard you got to fight fire with fire, right? The only way to fight banking is by being your own bank.
That's
If
right.
you're not your own bank, you can't fight a bank. And that's
Uh,
what they're most scared of. The fact that you realize that you say, oh, wait a minute, I can be my own bank. I don't need you anymore. I
yeah.
don't need you to charge me those paper fees and those every monthly fees for maintenance, right?
Yep.
Bitcoin's not going to charge you $12 every month for maintaining your bank account.
That's right. Was we're our own bank. Guys, listen, we're really trying to give a hard push on Twitter. We've really started to ramp up our Twitter game. So if you would, please follow us on Twitter. It's DebateCrypto OG. Make sure to make that a priority if you would, if you could. We are about to, we've been talking about this for a little while, but we're actually like really ready to do this. We are giving 1 year of Market Cipher away to somebody in our group, in our academy. That's DebateCrypto.academy. If you want to sign up for that, it's DebateCrypto.academy. The information is down below the video. And just make sure, guys, to remember to subscribe. So if nobody's told you before today, guys, we love each and every one of you. We appreciate each and every one of you. And so what we want to say in closing, just like when we started, question everything
Trust nothing.
and hodl